There's a moment in every life where everything begins to shift, not through noise, not through chaos, but through one quiet decision. That decision? To take ownership of your time, your mind, and your future before the world even wakes up. This is not a book about waking up early just to be productive. This is a book about transformation. Because what happens at 5 a.m. is not just about the hour, it's about who you become in that hour. When the streets are still and the sky is dark, something powerful happens. You reconnect with yourself. You hear your thoughts clearly. You move with intention. You choose growth, while others choose to delay. In a world addicted to speed, noise, and distraction, 5 a.m. is your sacred space, your edge, your foundation. Across history and industries, the most disciplined, creative, and impactful people, from CEOs to athletes, artists to thinkers, have used the early hours to craft their edge, sharpen their vision, and build the life they imagined. This book is your invitation to join them, to build your own morning ritual, to master your mindset, to take back your time, and with it, your life. Because success doesn't begin with luck. It begins with discipline. It begins with clarity. It begins with the courage to rise before the world asks anything of you and give that first hour to yourself. This is not just about waking up early. This is about waking up to who you were meant to be. Welcome to the 5 a.m. life. Chapter 1. The Power of the Early Hour. Welcome to the beginning of a powerful transformation. 5 a.m. For many, it's just a number. But for those who truly understand its value, it is much more than a time on the clock. It is a symbol, a mindset, a doorway to self-mastery. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt completely undisturbed? When no one was calling you, no notifications were buzzing, no one asked for your time or energy. The answer for most people is never. That's what makes 5 a.m. sacred. It's not just early, it's empty. Empty of demands, of noise, of distractions. And in that emptiness, you find yourself. There's something almost magical about the world at 5 a.m. The air is quiet. The streets are empty. The sky is painted in soft colors of a new beginning. There is no pressure, no chaos, no race to catch up, only calm. And in that calm, there's clarity. You're not reacting to the world, you're intentionally creating your world. You are not behind, you are ahead. You are not overwhelmed, you are centered. Most people wake up and immediately start chasing the clock. They rush through breakfast, scroll through notifications, check messages, run out the door already stressed. They start their day reacting to life instead of leading it. Used correctly, this spike isn't a curse, it's a superpower. It gives you alertness, mental clarity, readiness to move, motivation to act. But here's the key. If you waste this window by scrolling your phone or lying in bed, you dilute that energy. But if you channel it through movement, writing, planning, or reflection, you supercharge your morning. Psychological research tells us that willpower is finite. It's strongest in the morning and weakens as the day goes on. That means the earlier you start your most important tasks, the more likely you are to complete them successfully. By waking up early, you get your highest quality energy, not what's left after emails, errands, noise, and fatigue. This is why early risers tend to be less likely to procrastinate, more consistent with habits, more emotionally stable throughout the day. You win the battle before the day even begins. Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't just about productivity. It's about identity. Each time you wake up early, you're telling yourself, I do hard things. I keep promises. I lead my life. That one action rewires your brain towards self-discipline. And over time, discipline builds confidence. And confidence builds momentum. That's why so many successful people swear by it. Not because waking up early is magic, but because what it makes you believe about yourself is. Humans are biologically designed to wake with the light. Our ancestors rose with the sun. They hunted, worked, created, and thought deeply, long before modern distractions. Today's 5 a.m. habit is a return to that natural rhythm. Your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock, can be trained. The more you wake up early, the easier it becomes. Consistency isn't just a habit, it's a biological alignment. It's no coincidence that top CEOs, elite athletes, world-class artists, and spiritual leaders all tap into early mornings. From Tim Cook to Maya Angelou, from Robin Sharma to Benjamin Franklin, the common thread is this: they protect their mornings. They don't allow chaos in. They don't waste the most powerful part of their day on autopilot. They rise early and act with intention, not because they're superhuman, but because they've learned how humans actually work best. So here's what science tells us, and success stories confirm. Your brain is sharper, your body is readier, your willpower is stronger, and your habits, if anchored early, stick longer. That's the secret. 5 a.m. isn't about waking up early to suffer. It's about waking up early to win. And now you know why. It works. Chapter 3. A peek into the morning of the successful. Let's take a moment to step into the lives of some of the world's most successful people, not just to admire them, but to learn from them. Because success leaves clues. And one of the clearest is this: how you start your day is how you shape your destiny. There's a moment in every life where everything begins to shift, not through noise, not through chaos, but through one quiet decision. That decision? To take ownership of your time, your mind, and your future before the world even wakes up. This is not a book about waking up early just to be productive. This is a book about transformation. Because what happens at 5 a.m. is not just about the hour, it's about who you become in that hour. When the streets are still and the sky is dark, something powerful happens. You reconnect with yourself. You hear your thoughts clearly. You move with intention. You choose growth, while others choose to delay. In a world addicted to speed, noise, and distraction, 5 a.m. is your sacred space, your edge, your foundation. Across history and industries, the most disciplined, creative, and impactful people, from CEOs to athletes, artists to thinkers, have used the early hours to craft their edge, sharpen their vision, and build the life they imagined. This book is your invitation to join them, to build your own morning ritual, to master your mindset, to take back your time, and with it, your life. Because success doesn't begin with luck. It begins with discipline. It begins with clarity. It begins with the courage to rise before the world asks anything of you and give that first hour to yourself. This is not just about waking up early. This is about waking up to who you were meant to be. Welcome to the 5 a.m. life. Chapter 1. The Power of the Early Hour. Welcome to the beginning of a powerful transformation. 5 a.m. For many, it's just a number. But for those who truly understand its value, it is much more than a time on the clock. It is a symbol, a mindset, a doorway to self-mastery. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt completely undisturbed? when no one was calling you, no notifications were buzzing, no one asked for your time or energy. The answer for most people is never. That's what makes 5 a.m. sacred. It's not just early, it's empty. Empty of demands, of noise, of distractions. And in that emptiness, you find yourself. There's something almost magical about the world at 5 a.m. The air is quiet. The streets are empty. The sky is painted in soft colors of a new beginning. There is no pressure, no chaos, no race to catch up, only calm. And in that calm, there's clarity. You're not reacting to the world, you're intentionally creating your world. You are not behind, you are ahead. You are not overwhelmed, you are centered. Most people wake up and immediately start chasing the clock. They rush through breakfast, scroll through notifications, check messages, run out the door already stressed. They start their day reacting to life instead of leading it. Chapter 4. The first 60 minutes, the golden hour. Welcome to your new favorite hour, the first 60 minutes of your day. This isn't just time, it's your sacred space. It's the foundation of your discipline, your clarity, your peace. What you do in this first hour will echo through the rest of your day. And here's the secret formula used by top performers around the world, the 20-20-20 formula. Wake the body, activate the energy. The very first thing you do at 5 a.m., move. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need to start. Stretch your limbs. Do yoga or a light bodyweight routine. Go for a brisk walk. Dance to your favorite song. Jump rope, jog in place, or breathe deeply with motion. This isn't about intensity. It's about ignition. Here's what's happening. Your blood starts flowing. Your oxygen intake rises. Endorphins, your natural mood boosters, flood your system. Cortisol levels regulate, and dopamine is released. Within minutes, you'll feel awake, not groggy, not dragged into the day, but propelled into it. Movement is the bridge between sleep and purpose. It tells your brain, we're alive, we're ready, let's go. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. Now that your body is awake, it's time to center your mind. The next 20 minutes are for reflection, because before you face the world, you must first face yourself. Here's what this can look like. Journaling your thoughts, emotions, or intentions. Writing gratitude lists. Sitting in meditation. Deep breathing. Prayer or spiritual connection. Simply staring out the window, thinking in peace. This time is about slowing down. No pressure, no performance, just presence. You're giving your mind space to process emotions, untangle thoughts, align with your values, clarify what matters. This stillness isn't laziness, it's leadership. Because those who pause and reflect early respond wisely later. Nourish the mind, sharpen the soul. The last part of your golden hour is about feeding your brain. You've moved, you've reflected. Now it's time to grow. You can read 10 pages of a great book, listen to a podcast or audiobook, study a topic you love, learn a new skill, write down big ideas, review your long-term goals. Why does this matter? Because in a distracted world, learning is a competitive advantage. And if you can learn in silence, before the noise, you stay ahead of the curve. This isn't cramming, it's calm, conscious self-education. It's telling your future, I'm preparing for you every single morning. You grow while others sleep. You evolve while others repeat. Do this 20-20-20 ritual for 30 days and watch what changes. You'll be sharper at work or school. You'll be calmer in conversations. You'll feel more energized, not exhausted. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, wakes up at 3:45 a.m. By the time the sun rises, he's already read through hundreds of emails, hit the gym, and reviewed his schedule. Why? Because he understands the importance of proactive leadership. He doesn't want to be pulled by the day. He wants to set the pace, for himself and for one of the biggest companies on Earth. Michelle Obama starts her day with a 4:30 a.m. workout, not because she loves waking up early, but because she loves what it does for her body, her mind, and her peace. In her words, "If I don't take care of myself, no one else will." Her mornings are a declaration of self-respect and discipline before the demands of the world arrive. Robin Sharma, author of the 5 a.m. Club, built a movement around this exact principle. He teaches that the early hour is where heroes are made. He believes that the victory hour, from 5 to 6 a.m., is your time to reflect, grow, and move with intention. Sharma says, "Own your morning, elevate your life," and millions have followed. Kobe Bryant didn't just train hard, he trained before everyone else. On the court before sunrise, he practiced while others slept. And he did it not just for skill, but for mental dominance. He once said, "If I start training at 4 a.m. and you start at 10 a.m., I've already got 6 hours on you. Do that for years, and I've beaten you." His mornings were his edge, his separation from average. So what do these icons, across industries and generations, have in common? They don't leave the first hour to chance. They design it, they protect it, they own it. They understand that greatness isn't built in public, it's built in silence, in repetition, in discipline, in early hours when no one is watching. Because that's when identity is forged. That's when confidence is planted. That's when momentum is born. Waking up early isn't about punishment. It's not about burning out or bragging. It's about positioning yourself. To think clearly before the world clutters your mind. To move your body before stress locks it. To reflect before others distract. To grow before the world even starts. In the quiet hours, you're not rushed. You're not performing. You're not reacting. You're simply becoming. Here's the truth most people overlook. One early morning won't change your life, but 100 early mornings will. You'll build habits others never make time for, create things others only dream of, become someone others only read about. It's not magic, it's math. A focused hour every day equals 365 powerful hours a year. That's the equivalent of 9 full 40-hour work weeks dedicated just to your personal growth. All before most people have even had coffee. So when you hear 5 a.m., don't think of sacrifice, think of strategy. Don't think of sleep lost, think of opportunity gained. Success isn't loud, it doesn't arrive. This is what emotional strength looks like. Not being perfect, but being present. Not reacting all day, but responding from a centered place. You begin the day on your terms, and that alone changes your entire mental state. There's something sacred about having time that's just yours. Not shared with obligations, not interrupted by noise, just pure space to think, breathe, feel. 5 a.m. gives you that space, every single morning. And in that space, you can heal from yesterday, prepare for today, dream about tomorrow. You're no longer surviving your days. You're creating them with clarity and care. Let's be honest, life will never stop being busy. But your mind doesn't have to match its pace. 5 a.m. is your anchor. It's how you go from reactive to proactive, from anxious to grounded, from scattered to centered. And that sense of control, it's the greatest form of self-care. Because when you feel in control, your brain relaxes, your body softens, your choices align, and your life starts moving forward without the weight of chaos. So if your mind feels overwhelmed, if your days feel noisy, if your emotions feel heavy, step into the stillness of 5 a.m. because in the quiet, you'll hear something important, yourself. And once you reconnect with that voice, no stress, no screen, no storm can shake your peace. Chapter 7. How to build the 5 a.m. habit, even if you're not a morning person. Waking up at 5 a.m. sounds great when you hear about it. But when your alarm goes off and it's still dark outside, reality hits. That's why this chapter is not about forcing change. It's about building it with intention, with compassion, and with strategy. Because you don't need to be a morning person. You just need to be a purposeful person with a plan. Big results don't come from big leaps. They come from small shifts done consistently. Don't try to go from waking at 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. overnight. That will shock your system and burn out your willpower. Instead, use the gradual reset method. Days 1 to 3, wake up at 6:45 a.m. Days 4 to 6, shift to 6:15 a.m. Days 7 to 10, move to 5:45 a.m. Days 11 to 14, welcome to 5 a.m. slow, steady, sustainable. Each phase gives your body and mind time to adjust. You're not just changing your alarm, you're changing your identity. Habits don't stick by willpower alone. They stick through environment and systems. So here's how to prep. Place your alarm across the room. You'll have to physically get up to turn it off. That movement alone breaks the pattern of going back to bed. Lay out your clothes the night before. Whether it's workout clothes or your favorite hoodie, having it ready removes morning friction. These 60 minutes become your daily victory. Not for the world, but for yourself. And when you win the first hour, the rest of the day falls into place. So tomorrow at 5 a.m., don't scroll your phone. Don't rush into the chaos. Instead, enter your golden hour. Move your body. Reflect in silence. Feed your mind. This is your temple. This is your foundation. This is where your transformation begins. One morning at a time. Chapter 5. The Domino Effect. How it changes everything. Let's take a moment to recognize something powerful. Every big transformation begins with a small, seemingly ordinary choice. You don't have to change your entire life at once. You just have to change the first hour of your day. Because waking up at 5 a.m. doesn't only affect your morning, it ripples across everything. It all starts here, with one simple act. You rise when the rest of the world sleeps. That one decision triggers a chain reaction. You wake up early. You go to bed earlier. You go to bed earlier. You cut late night screen time. You cut screen time. You sleep deeper. You sleep deeper. You wake up with more energy. More energy. You feel more motivated. More motivation. You stay consistent with your goals. One positive domino knocks down another. Momentum builds. Identity shifts. And before you know it, you're living in alignment. Here's something unexpected. Waking up early improves not just your schedule, it improves your choices. You don't crave heavy, late-night snacks anymore. You're winding down earlier. You begin drinking more water. You start fueling your body for performance, not just pleasure. Your digestion improves, your clarity improves, your confidence improves. Soon you realize, waking up early doesn't just change your mornings. It changes your relationship with your body and mind. Now that you're starting the day intentionally, you start working differently. You're more focused in meetings. You finish tasks faster. You stop reacting and start leading. You stop postponing and start progressing. Because you've already won your morning, your brain believes it can win the rest of the day too. Your 5 a.m. habit has silently trained you in discipline, time ownership, emotional regulation, mental clarity, physical energy. And that inner stability becomes your outer advantage. When you're more disciplined, confident, and consistent, you start reaching your goals faster. Not by magic, but by mathematics. 1 hour of intentional action every morning, 365 hours a year. That's over 9 full work weeks dedicated to your dream life. Eventually, it stops feeling like effort because your routine becomes your default. Your choices become automatic, and your identity evolves. You don't just wake up early anymore. You are someone who wakes up early. You are disciplined, focused, purposeful. And this identity influences every other area of your life. Your relationships, your learning, your finances, your mood, your sense of purpose. Because when you shift who you are at the root, everything else blooms differently. The best part? You didn't have to move mountains. You didn't need to change 100 things. You just committed to 1 hour consistently. That hour taught you how to lead your life, not just live it. This is the domino effect of self-mastery, and it always begins with one choice, one habit, 1 hour, 1 morning. So remember this. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. Wake up early, move with purpose, reflect with peace, grow with intention, and watch how one choice becomes a life you're proud of. It all starts with you, and it starts at 5 a.m. Real peace. Not the kind you find once a year on vacation or in short escapes, but the kind you can wake up to every single day at 5 a.m. In the early morning, the world is still asleep. There are no notifications, no messages, no pressure. It's just you, the quiet, and a new beginning. This silence heals. It softens your nervous system. It slows your breath. It clears the fog in your mind. In a world addicted to speed and stimulation, 5 a.m. is your slow space. And that slow space, it's where you recover, reset, and reconnect. Think about how most people start their day. Phone in hand, notifications flashing, mind racing, news scrolling. Their day owns them before they've even stood up. But not you. Not anymore. When you rise early, you delay the noise. You give your brain a chance to be present before being pulled. No screen, no chaos, just calm. This simple shift, even for just 60 minutes, has profound effects. Fewer dopamine spikes, reduced anxiety, improved emotional regulation, greater attention span, and over time, that calm morning becomes a calm life. In silence, you can hear yourself again. Your intuition, your thoughts, your actual feelings, not just reactions. This is the time for journaling your emotions, meditating to ground your thoughts, praying, or spiritually aligning, asking yourself, what do I need today? Most people rush through life disconnected from their inner world, but you start every day tuning in, and that connection makes your decisions smarter, your relationships stronger, your self-worth deeper. Your alarm clock can't wake you up, but your purpose can. Ask yourself, why do I want to wake up early? What kind of life am I trying to build? Who do I become if I master my mornings? The stronger your why, the less you'll rely on motivation. Because here's the truth. There will be days when your bed feels warm and your willpower feels weak. But when your purpose is loud, your excuses stay quiet. Waking up early shouldn't feel like punishment. It should feel like a reward. So design your mornings with rituals that excite you. A quiet tea or coffee before the world wakes up, soft music or ambient sounds while journaling, a walk in the first light of sunrise, a cozy reading corner, or a podcast you love. Make your mornings something to look forward to. Your brain will begin to associate 5 a.m. with peace, energy, and inspiration, not struggle. Once you start to feel the benefits, you'll want to protect this habit like gold. So guard it by turning off screens an hour before bed, setting a consistent bedtime, even on weekends, letting others know you're prioritizing mornings, forgiving yourself if you miss a day, but never two. You're not chasing perfection, you're building consistency, one morning at a time. What you're doing isn't just changing behavior, you're literally rewiring your brain. Each time you wake up early, your identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as lazy or inconsistent and start seeing yourself as someone who chooses to lead their life. That confidence, that quiet self-respect, is more powerful than any alarm. So whether you're a night owl, a late sleeper, or someone who's never believed in early rising, know this. You can build this habit. You can become someone who wakes up with purpose. And it doesn't take perfection. It takes one small shift, repeated daily. So tomorrow, wake up just a little earlier. Do it not for the world. Do it for you. Because you're not just learning to wake up at 5 a.m. You're learning to wake up to your potential. You used to hit snooze. You used to scroll. You used to wake up tired, behind, overwhelmed. But now, you rise with purpose. You rise before the world demands your energy and give it to yourself first. This isn't just a routine change. This is a rebirth. Every missed morning was a missed moment to plan the life you want, to reflect on who you're becoming, to build what no one sees yet. The old you let the day decide who you'd be. But the 5 a.m. you decide. You're not reacting to life anymore. You're leading it. Clearer, you begin your day with mental space. No noise, no rush, just you and your thoughts. Calmer, you don't starting more disciplined. You've built a habit most people only admire, but never attempt. You're not just doing things differently, you're becoming someone different. Excuses for execution. No more, I don't have time. You make time before the world even wakes up. Chaos for clarity. No more mornings in a rush. No more mental clutter. You rise with peace and it follows you all day. Wishing for working. You stopped hoping things would change. You started changing them. You wake up wiser. Because every time you say yes to that early alarm, you're saying yes to the best version of yourself. You've stopped watching others live their dreams and started building your own. You've proven to yourself, I can do hard things. I can follow through. I can become who I was born to be. That's not motivation. That's identity. You lead yourself first. That's where all true leadership begins. Your self-respect grows. Your confidence deepens. Your standards rise. And soon others will ask, what changed about you? And your answer will be simple. I started waking up for me. This is more than a morning habit. This is a new rhythm, a new mindset, a new identity. You are no longer who you used to be. You are who you decided to become. And it all began the moment you chose 5 a.m. So as your next morning comes, don't just wake up. Rise, stand tall, own the day, because this is your time, and you are the 5 a.m. you. Every great story begins with a small choice, and your choice? Waking up when the world sleeps, not to prove something to others, but to honor a promise you've made to yourself. Because success doesn't begin with a big breakthrough. It begins with a quiet moment, in the dark, when no one's watching. When you choose growth over comfort, clarity over chaos, purpose over delay. At 5 a.m., you take control of your time, your energy, your identity. You're not just waking up early, you're waking up on purpose. So set your alarm, prepare your space, clear your mind, and commit to the version of you that's been waiting to lead. The future you want, the freedom, the focus, the fulfillment, doesn't arrive someday. It starts now, in the early hours, in discipline, in silence, in small, consistent action. Don't wait for motivation. Create momentum. Don't wait for the world to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. Meet yourself in the mirror before the sun comes up. Shake hands with your potential and rise while others remain asleep to their dreams. Because the truth is simple. Your future is already awake, and it's waiting for you.